Hey guys, I guess started off early, and this is for you. And I'm going to do something different out there in this class. And let me share you the YouTube link. And there is one more thing. I will bring you out, guys, to. Okay. So I guess many of you have doubts and everything. So let me do one thing. I will be streaming, and I am sending you a link to the meeting. Okay. So let me send you a link to the meeting as well. Hi, Chanandan. So you guys just join the meeting, and I'll just paste it out here as well. So this would give me more of a lookout with you. And the moment you are able to join this, I will be helping you. Okay. Hi, Bharat. What's up? So it's gonna be more of like you can watch me doing the content on YouTube, and I'm here to help you. And it's gonna be like a class which is more live in sense of YouTube is the main thing of watching. Though I will be teaching you, and I would be telling your doubts, and I would be covering everything in the Meet session. So I would be using the Meet option to help you. Okay. Hey, Shubham. What's up, man? So, did you did you do? So, if there is anything, you can come to Meet, and you can just tell me that if you're facing some problem or anything, and I would help you. And till then, let's get started with the webinar. Okay, guys are joining in. I like people joining in. So there would be a bit of a delay, though I am here to help you out. So okay, people are joining in. So guys, did you do the homework? Did you do the homework? Cool. I saw many of you have made me the homework, and I was going through it. And thank you so much for doing the homework. Well, I shouldn't thank you. I'm sorry, I'm meeting you, Himanshu, on the call. So, like, I have to. It's echoing for me. Huh. 8 people it is. So generally it's 20 people. I don't know. Those people would be there. So let's get started. And this Meet link is something which is more of a live thing. I'm gonna help you. For example, when we are going to start to code, I am there live to help you out in the Meet call as well. So it can work both ways. So if you have anything, you can ask in the chat. I would get back to you. You can share your screen and all. So it's going to be more of a discussive session. And I believe I really want to create a connection with you guys. It's very important to create a connection out there. Okay, so do you remember till where did we leave off? So I am going to start with syntax itself. Okay, I'm going to be there on the syntax, and I'm going to help you out with the syntax part. Share screen. Boom. Okay, so hey lovely people, Thank you for joining in. देखो I'm so good ना. My timing was 10, but I had to change because of you lovely people coming in and being ready. I just someone, I guess it was Himanshu. He opened his cam and he was like really ready to do the CSS. So that gives me motivation, yeah. When you do it and when you have real doubts and when you do real things, it gives me motivation to do it. It gives me the motivation to teach, right? So coming back, CSS syntax. Okay, so how syntax was looking like? Let me open my VS and let me show you. Uh, we were giving. There was a selector, right? Selector is kind of a tool. So if you know about Photoshop, or if you know about Illustrator, or if you know about these tools, or if you know about Paint, so there is always a selector. Let me open Paint for you and give you a good idea of how CSS is working. Okay, because this is very important for you to know and understand that how CSS is working in a general class. So you have to understand. Okay, so you have to understand. For example, if your file is safe to open. Thank you, McAfee antivirus, for saving me. Okay, so if I draw something, or if I have multiple things, okay, multiple things on my web page, you have to understand. Okay, a heading, a body, then I have a footer. Okay, so I have multiple things on my web page, and these multiple things are something which I need to select, and I need to make sure that this particular thing is colored. Okay, then I would have this tool, this particular tool which I have with me, is something which is using it, which is basically selecting that particular area and which is coloring that particular area. So this tool, for example, uh, see, like if I have to take example of the same tool, right? What I am doing over here is I am selecting that color, and that color is being selected, and now it is getting pasted into the body. So that is being done by dribble. So for example, take this pen. Okay, so this pen would be something. This pen is something which is important for selecting the part you need to color, and you color that particular point. Understood what is happening? It's very easy stuff. You're just selecting that point and you say, okay, color this in that particular thing, give this padding, give this. So you are a designer and you have this thing in your head. Somebody's joining in. Let me admit that. Hi guys, still hi. Hi, Vishnu. So you have to select that particular point. So you have to understand that you're selecting something with your selector, and then you are giving a property and you are giving a value. Just a color is a property and value is orange. Okay, understood over here. I think I have told you this yesterday itself, and today is gonna be a bit fast, and on Saturday. So guys, I felt that we were doing good, but there is a lot I need to teach you, and there is a lot you need to discover yourself. So have a go by yourself. Try doing things by yourself, and then on Saturday we will have a AMA. So I'll just sit with you with a cup of coffee, and I'll give answers to every questions you have out there. Okay, because it's my job. It's my job to teach you. I've just come here to teach you. So what are we doing over here is, the selector points to the HTML element, my building, and the declaration block contains one or more declarations separated by semicolons. Semicolons is an important thing. You have to understand, either we are doing C++ or either we are doing anything. It's a part which is important. Okay. So you have to make sure that you select that HTML element. Each declaration contains a CSS property. यहाँ पे हम लोग जाके देखेंगे CSS properties color, font size is a property, value is blue, and value is 12 pic, and over here is value is 12 pixel. Two kinds of declaration. You know what a declaration is? Declare! This is the pen. It's a declaration. From today, it will be called a bottle. Declaration. I can declare anything. I declare myself as king of my house. I hope my mom doesn't listen. But yes, I declare. I just declared I can do it. So you have this possibility of declaring. This possibility of declaring can actually help you to declare anything in your CSS file and make sure that you can change that property. It makes it variable. It makes it it gives the ability to change. Okay, moving on to the next part very fast. We have to move on to the next part. P is a selector in CSS. You know how what a selector is. Color is a property, textual is a property, and they are collecting values inside it. Okay, so what are selectors? Did we speak about selectors yesterday? Did we? Were we speaking about selectors yesterday? Yes or no? The element selector selects HTML elements based on the element name. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let me give you a very different kind of example. Okay, let me just remove this part and let me show you how a selector is working. Paint, bye bye. Your work is done. So just look at this code, okay? Just look at this code and you see, what do you see is different. We know what a doc type is. We know what HTML is. We know what head is. We know what style is, okay? Then we have hashtag para1, okay? And then we have a curly bracket starting, which is giving to this text align, which is giving to this text align to center, then which is giving to this color red. Okay, so for these properties it is giving these specific values. Okay, then I am closing that. Okay, you see, I am saving this in the style head. So I'm using the style tag. I'm saving this part in the style head, and then after that in my body, now I know, now I specifically know that, sorry, that if I need to change it, I need to change it, I need to specifically tell to that tag that how that tag is affected by it. You're getting my point? You're getting my point? You have to specifically check, or you have to specifically know that how my like this keyword change the complete scenario of your tag, and this is what selector is doing. This is an ID selector. This is basically how ID selector is working. Let me go back. Let me show you what ID selector is. ID selector uses the ID attribute of an HTML element for a specific element. Generally, you know, in times of for example, to cut hair, there are specific kind of scissors. Like you don't have, and to cut grass, there is a specific kind of scissors. That what specific means. So similarly, for CSS and HTML, the ID attribute is something which gives to that specific element. Okay, you do this, you are changing this. The ID element is a unique within a page, so the ID selector used to select one unique element. So ID selector needs to select one unique element. That means, let me clear off my glasses. There's too much smudge on this. So the ID selector means that what we have to do over here is that it should be unique. It should do the job of selecting that particular thing. To select an element with specific ID, write hash for the character. As you see in the code, what I have done. Do you see what I've done over here? I have written hash over there. Okay. So this hash is making my code identify that I'm making this particular ID selector to be available to this my ID selector in this part of my tag, of my HTML tag. So I need to make it available to my HTML tags. If you are able to understand, I am making it unique, and now I'm making it available to my HTML tags. It's basically like Spider-Man. Okay, so I have a small charging brick with me. Okay, but I need to understand, right, how a switch works. I need to understand that where the plug actually goes in, and when I have to actually turn on, and when I have to put the USB inside it. I have to understand the dynamics and how is it made, this knowledge, how this knowledge is made available to me. This is made available by what I have seen so far or what I have done so far. This makes me more available to things, right? This makes my head available to, okay, I have to do this. So this is what ID selector is doing. Okay, so if you understood what ID, to select an element with a specific ID. Okay, so we are giving this specific ID to it. ID is basically a tag. That is also a tag. You're getting right. If I'm giving a hashtag para1, that is now being selected by the ID. This para1 is selected by the ID. As you can see, it's this is right now. This is given as a hashtag, and you see my para1 is now selected over here. Okay, we are identifying it. It's very easy. It's very easy to understand. If you understand this, you can understand any type of thing, any type of selector, because you know what is happening with selectors. The problem with people understanding HTML and CSS is that they are not understanding it. They are just cramming it up. That is the problem with people, and I really don't understand why do they do that. Because if you know HTML CSS very well, you can actually do anything. Not today, but some time back. So the CSS class selector. Okay, so what is a class? Do you know that? Right now we are in a class. What are we doing? Studying, right? So we are studying, and this class selector, what it is actually doing is we are going to going to use this HTML file, and we are going to change this HTML file. Okay, just give me a second. Let me show you that part of the code. Okay, so I guess very few things have changed, as you have seen. Now I am selecting the class myself. We know what is a HTML head. Now in style, I have given it as dot center. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay. So you know what is a bad thing? A sneeze that is not happening from hours and hours. That was happening with me. Now I'm feeling a bit good. Yeah. So I have dot center with me, which I have specified a class, and over here, if I am using that particular class, now I can use that particular class over and over again. You getting my point? I can use this class. I can use this class over and over again. I will make sure that I combine all these CSS functions in one file and show you, and make sure I give you the homework and you have to do it. So over here, what we are doing, we are creating one class and we are using that class in H1 tag and also in the P tag. Okay. So as you can see that it is being used multiple times, and it is only being used multiple times because we can select the class anytime. So for example, you have to convert your H2. What you need to do is you have to give H2 class is equals to center, and then you have to just give your specific or you can do it H1 class is equals to your, so you have to select that class, and the moment you are selecting that class, your text is going to get changed into that particular thing what you require. Okay, so that is what class selector is. Now this is which I am using personally every day, or I use it. And this is, okay, let me zoom in. Doc type HTML, HTML head style. Now I have this star or this asterisk with me, and what it so there was a cartoon called Asterisk, very famous. So what this is doing is basically I have given this specific star, and this specific asterisk can be used, or it can be taken care of in any part of the code. It is making it a universal thing for your complete code section. So what it is doing is, you have to see, you are not calling it anywhere, but the style has been made universal. So if you know about something about a universal class, that everything would be affected in the paragraph. Everything would go, even from hello world to the paragraph, to something where I have used an ID selector, and I am trying to change it. Then also it is going to get it. For example, if I had ID over here, or if यार यही तो if I had one more, for example, if I had hash para1, right, and if I have if I would have given this specific code in which it is not common, and I would have done it to left, though it is going to make sure that it is using this particular asterisk, that it is using this particular asterisk of the code, where you are making sure for every text you have in your body is going to get used to it. So this is a universal selector, and universal selector is something which is used every day. It is not something like generally we use universal selector, because if we want, for example, if I'm creating a single page application, I want a universal selector to be there. If I have selected some specific text sizes, or if I want some specific text to change, then I go and use an ID selector, and I can do that as well. I'll tell you how to use multiple styles and how to use multiple selectors as well. Okay, yeah. So this is how you have to do it. And now it is time for homework. Okay, so I have told you about three selectors. Okay, I have told you about ID selector, I have told you about class selector, I have told you about universal selector. Now it's time for your job, and your job is to find out what is a grouping selector. Okay, so what is a grouping selector, and you have to make sure that you find out the grouping selector. Okay, I'm a bit tired today. I guess it's on my face, because yeah, lots of office work, but uh, always here to help you out, and always here to tell you. So you have to select this. You have to find out what is a grouping selector, and you have to do that for me. Okay, understood till here? I guess I can be on the call. You can just unmute yourself and you can tell. Understood till here, guys? Guys, did you understand what I taught you till yet? I guess I'm audible on the call as well, right? You can unmute yourself and tell that, yeah, we got it. Mm. Yes, you are. Some smart guy just muted me. Yeah. So okay. So moving on to the next part. Moving on to the next part. Okay. So we know what is a grouping selector and how things are working with. No, we don't know what is a grouping selector. I'm sorry. We have to find out what is a grouping selector. For that, what do we have to use? Can someone tell me? For that, what do we have to use? What kind of resource is the best resource out there? What do you say is the best resource out there? It's going to be a bit of a pause I'm taking on. But what do you what resource I have said every time that you have to use this resource? And on Saturday we are having an AMA. On Saturday after the AMA, we will have a test. You'll get the complete Sunday to complete the test. You'll get the most of the Saturday to complete the test, and most of this almost the complete Sunday to complete the test. Okay, so I'm gonna ask what I have taught you. No, nothing more than that. Okay, so yes, MD and docs. Yes, Aswin, you're a smart person. How to add CSS? Yeah, so we learned that how to select CSS, how to change it, how to do that, how to do this. But how to add CSS in my file? How to do that? Like I have been doing this, and I have been telling everyone that you can do this, you can do that, you can do doom, you can do. I have told all this, right? But how to really add CSS, right? What do you think? What do you think that if I have to add CSS, what is the best way? So you have to find out this too. Let me teach you, and then you tell me what is the best way. So there are three ways to do it. One is external CSS. The second one is internal CSS, and the third one is inline CSS. I hate inline CSS. I don't know. Like internal CSS is just fine for me. External CSS is something what I have used and I have shown you on like yesterday itself, right? If you remember, I just opened up a complete program and I show you. So hmm, external CSS. External CSS is something I have my file with it. Okay, I am having a file over here, and let me open a new file. Okay, so I have this file with me, and let me share this, save this file as. Okay, so I have this file with me, and this is a normal file. But if you see this part over here, right? What I am doing with this part, what do you think I'm doing with this part? I am linking my HTML to that particular mystyle.css. I have this particular CSS with me where I am saving mystyle.css, and I'm making sure that I have this my style with CSS in some other file. Okay, so if you are able to understand, now I will go and I will create a new file. Okay, I will let me paste this. Okay, and let me save it as. I just created a CSS file and I've saved it as CSS file, and as you can see, this particular section of file is referring to my style.css, and this CSS file, this CSS3 file, is a different file stored somewhere, as I have shown you in the file type yesterday, and as I have reflected you in the file type yesterday, that if I have to save something, or if I have to make sure that file is somewhere, I need to save it into the next file type. Okay, so I'm making sure that I'm able to access it, and I'm able to access it through this through this line where my tag is link dot rel is equals to style sheet dot herf. So herf tag, if you remember, Just read more about these two tags so you know what a link tag is, what link tag is doing over here. Link tag is basically linking this HTML file to this CSS file. Okay. Now let me go back to each HTML must include a reference to the external style sheet file inside the link element inside the head section. Okay, so you have to remember this point. This is an important point. Okay, make sure that you remember this point. An external style sheet can be written in any text editor and must be saved with .css extension. Okay, you have to remember this. You have to remember this, that this is gonna get saved into the CSS extension. Okay. Internal CSS. Okay. So what is an internal CSS? Do you think, have you thought about how could internal CSS thing would work? Or let me show you. Doctype.html, where HTML head, and you see that mostly I have shown you the internal CSS. As you see that this particular style, that this where I have given the style head to my the style tag to my HTML format. As you have seen that what I have done is, the moment I have given the style tag to my HTML format, what I have done is basically I have given it inside my HTML file, which can also be said as internal CSS. Okay, so this is just changing inside the CSS on this style tag. There is nothing in the body. There is no relevance of this CSS file, but whenever I have this file with me, with the style tags, I am changing the design of the complete element, as you can see over there. Understood? External CSS, we were saving it in the other file. Internal CSS, what we are doing, we have the style tag with us, and in that style tag, I am saving whatever design is, and then I have HTML file all over it, like there is start, head, and everything, and then I have the complete body with me. So you understand that we are just putting it one more brick of CSS. So I guess I hope I have the complete set. So as you see that this green part is a styling part. This is where I am styling it from, where I am giving the complete inline file, wherever you see that I am making sure that this is something which is okay. This is my HTML file. This, if this is internal CSS, then I have my CSS, the CSS commands over here. My syntax is over here, and then I have the rest of the rest of the HTML file over here. Okay, understood till over here, like how this is working. So this is how internal CSS is working. Understood? Now let me go back to showing you inline CSS. Okay, so inline CSS is something when you have to apply a unique style to every element. For example, if you have a single page with you, and you want multiple things and you want to change multiple things in that file, if you want to make sure that file is changed, and this is some other train techniquing going on near my house. So yeah, I can't help it. So whatever it is, inline CSS is something when I have to change every specific part of it. So you have to understand that if I need to make sure that ये बहुत बड़ा example है. Okay. So if I need to make sure that only this specific part is something which is going to get changed, and the rest of the part is going to stay the same. It's going to stay the same, whatever the style commandment I have given. So that is done through inline CSS. You have to change it. Like, let me show you some syntax for it, but you have to understand. Yeah, more than understanding the code, I would say try to feel the code. You have to see what is happening, right? So you, more than understanding it, try to feel it. Okay, ye ho gaya, this has happened, and I need to see, okay, how this has happened. So for example, you can see over here I am changing it. If you remember, I told you in HTML2 all I need to write is h1 style, where I have this property with me, where I have this value with me, and I am changing it. I am changing the style with an inline CSS. I'm changing the particular style with the inline CSS of a particular text H1 P. You see what is the difference happening over here. You see what is happening over there. I am selecting that particular text and I'm changing that text. Okay. So you understand how I am doing that. Did you understand the complete process? So this is called an inline CSS. This is how inline CSS is working. Okay. Now let me go back, not go back, come forward. So there is something called, you have to understand what is a multiple style sheet. Okay, so if some properties have been decided for the same selector in different style sheets, the value from the last red style will be used. It's basically, for example, so if you were watching TV and you just open the TV and you it would have, generally it has the channels or something synced up for whenever what was the last channel we were watching. So in my time, before the setup box and everything came, there used to be cable TVs. There was a cable provider which used to give us channels and everything, and they used to provide us with cable TV. We used to use that, and in that, for example, if you just close off the TV on set max, or if you close off the TV on Star Sport, whenever you start with that, it's going to get started with Star Sports itself. So it used to be on the same channel. It used to make sure that it goes to the same memory. So similarly, for multiple style sheet, you have to make sure, let me show you that how multiple style sheets work. So for example, if I have a CSS file with me, okay, so if I have a CSS file with me, and in that CSS file, okay, this external style sheet, okay, so this external style sheet, and in this, wait, let me zoom in. In this particular, I will explain you that how we can use comments too. Okay, so आज मेरा हो गया है भाई. Okay. So this is a multiple style sheet. Okay. So multiple style sheet is something which how it is accessing different. Let me comment this down for you. Okay. Let me comment this. Why is it changing the complete thing to a comment? I don't understand. Chalo. Okay. This is how you do a comment. First of all, okay, you make sure that you put a slash, and then you put an asterisk, then you put a star after it, and then you have some content inside it. Then you have to follow this. So it's vice versa. So if you want to comment in CSS, what do you have to do? I guess you got the point. Did you? Did you get the point, guys? Like for example, if I have to make sure that wait, just give me a second. Okay, so this is how you do a comment in CSS. Okay, so you understood how to make a comment. You have to do this vice versa of slash and star. Okay, so I have h1 with me. Okay, and then I have h1 with me, which is one is in my external style sheet, and the second one is my internal style sheet. Okay, I have multiple style sheets with me, where one is being used at where one is being used as this h1. Okay, so this h1 is on the external end, and h1 is on the I have one more style sheet with me, which is an internal style sheet. Okay, so you have to make sure that there are two style sheets. Okay, then the external style sheet is following this h1 element where color is changing into navy, while the internal element is changing the color into orange. Okay, so what do you think, which property could be used to this? Okay, so whenever if I need to use something, it will specifically use the h1, the internal coloring, the internal styling of the css file. So it will always use the internal styling of the css file. I made a mistake, I just copied it into the css file. I should have used the html file over here, but I think you get the point. So what is happening, I am linking it to my css file, though I have given this command of internal style sheet first, and then there is a link. So this, for example, the command has already been taken, so this will be used first more than the array. So this will be used first more than the second command I am giving, and I am linking towards it. So you have to understand, because I already have it on my file. Okay, I guess I am very much exhausted today. I guess that is for a fact that I'm really exhausted. Arre yaar, I didn't zoom. What the was the code visible? Hmm? I hope it was visible. I tried to, like, with my face, I tried to teach it very well. But this is how you have done. From how long the code has been like this? I guess for this HTML part, so this CSS part. Uh, Guys, this would be all for today. I guess I have told you the homework, and I guess the next thing is I have told you how to do. So in the AMA on Saturday, what I am going to do is I am going to teach you the background color, text color, and border color part, and then it's not gonna be in the test. It's not gonna be in the test, so don't worry. It's only going to be in the test what I have taught till over here. Okay. So see you soon, guys. Bye bye.